Hello whiskey friends, welcome to Whiskey Whistle. I'm your host Mark and this is Whiskey Review number 142, my Whiskey of the Year 2016 luxury age-stated Whiskey of the Year, and that is the Balvenie 14-year-old Caribbean cask. Let's get that poured, shall we? This is a Speyside from the Speyside region of Scotland, which is well, in the middle of the Highlands. There we are, that's a nice pour. It's a separate region on its own because, well, there are just so many distilleries there, and basically became a unique style of their own. This is 43% ABV. It's 14 years old, as I mentioned. It spends most of its time in, I believe, ex-bourbon casks. And then it has a finishing in some, what I believe would be some very nice, very excellent rum casks. Finished in casks that previously held rum distilled in the Caribbean. So 43% ABV and pretty much a nice old gold or an Indian gold color to it. Beautiful nose. Anything else to talk about that one? Well, I think I paid, what did I pay? I paid roughly about 150,000 won, I think. And, oh, I forgot to show you that one. Hang on one second. As a little gift with purchase from the Malt shop here in Seoul, I got this cool little Balvenie Glencairn glass lid. Can you see that? Pretty cool. And I'm happy with that one. I broke my glass one. If you've been watching for a while, that fell apart. I dropped it and it smashed. This is wood, so pretty hard to break, but you never know. Anyway, why would you want to use a lid? Well, that can help to get some of the aromatics filled up in the glass, and then after a little while you can open it and you can get a really good sense of what it smells like. Alright, let's get on to the nosing. Then we'll taste it and talk about the flavors in the palate. Finally, we'll discuss the finish, where we talk about how it tastes after you swallow it, the aftertaste. And finally, a score, the WhiskyWhistle whiskey score, okay? We'll have a very short word from the YouTube sponsors right here. All right, let's get on to the nosing. I really love the nose on this one. It's got this tropical fruitiness to it, and yet it's got a classic, youthful, Speyside, kind of almondine, appley, just wonderful nose to it. This is also quite fresh in terms of the scent. Beautiful. Lots of tropical fruits, as I mentioned. Quite a big amount of vanilla too. Some caramels, like vanilla caramels and milk chocolate caramels. Now, what did I write about that one? Let me check my notes. Oh, well, these are my notes from a few days ago. I also found mint, although I'm not noticing that here right now. No, well, yeah, now I am. It's kind of an apple mint. So you really have to take your time with the nose and the taste, and you'll find that there are layers and layers of flavors coming through and scents. Some grass, wild grasses. I really find that one cool thing about the Balvenie is sort of the smell of fields mixed in with all of these wonderful apple and vanilla caramel flavors. Really nice. And I wrote here apple orchard and a lumber yard and some florals also. Okay, we'll get onto the palate. Let's taste it now. Cheers, everybody. tropical fruits, tropical nuts. Really interesting, really different, very different from the 12-year-old double cask. It's very different from, what else have I tried? I've tried the 2001. No, that's not the Balvenie. I tried the 16-year-old triple cask. Very different. I've even tried the 21-year-old, the Portwood, and I have to say, I think I like this more than that. I think some of you may think I'm crazy, but I really like the strength of it. It's very sweet, also very well rounded by a bit of bitterness, also some tartness. Vanilla and orange toffees, milk chocolate toffees. There's a rich honey character to it as well in the palate. Maybe honey over apples. That would be a really good description of how that tastes. Finish I find to be very classic Balvenie. Grassy, some grain, kind of like a bakery, and a lot of honey also. And this one is also quite long. Especially the honey, and especially the that pastry, kind of sweet pastry flavor left over in my mouth. Okay, we're going to add a bit of water. If you don't have a spoon, I really find the lid of a bottle of water to be quite useful for pouring water into whiskey. I can control it pretty well. So it's easy to add just a couple of drops, but we're going to put in, I don't know, about 3 or 4 milliliters of water. And we'll let that mix and meld. Now, it's interesting, there's a reason I wanted to buy this one. I had never tried it before, that was one reason. But also in my collection there is a rum finished whiskey that's 21 years old, and that's going to be something that I'm going to keep for a long time, and I will not open until some date far in the future. This one is a Cuban rum finish, so you may know what that is. I can't tell you because I'm talking about the Balvenie and it's a different company. So is it a different? Actually, it's probably okay because it's actually part of the same group. Okay, so that's the Glenfiddich Havana Reserve, 21-year-old. I found that here in Seoul and looked it up. Found out it had been discontinued sometime around, I don't know, 2004. So I thought, well, boy, I'd be crazy not to buy that. And so I paid a pretty penny for it. But I think that it's going to be a nice bottle to enjoy way in the future, perhaps with my first daughter on her 18th birthday. We'll see. Okay, on to the nose with water now. We'll have another short advertisement right here. Okay, welcome back. The Balvenie 14-year-old Caribbean cask with water. Again, much sweeter. But now the tropical fruits are really coming in here. Pineapple, mango. There's a tropical nuttiness to it as well. A hint of leather, a little bit of polished wood, or a fine furniture store, or an old law office. Very nice. What did I write about that one? Sweetness is enhanced. The honey, well, the honey is a little bit clarified, whereas on the neat, when you smell it neat, it's more like a honeycomb, I would say. Oh, It's really intoxicating. I could smell that all day. Of course, I say that about a lot of whiskeys, but this is definitely one of them. Okay, time to smell, time to drink. Cheers, everybody. Again, these tropical fruits really jump out. Also, very nutty on the palate, and the finish here with water. Brazil nuts, cashew nuts. Roasted macadamia. And I write here, it really accentuates the toffees and also the honey. And I wrote an unusual sweetness, tropical fruit, and nut really develops. Some goldenberry. Goldenberry, that's an interesting fruit that is fairly readily available dry that you should try. Yeah, a bit of milk chocolate there as well. The pineapple, it's more like a grilled one or a tinned one that's grilled maybe even. So you get a bit of caramelization of the syrup from the tin along with the that really ripe, almost stewed pineapple flavor. And the finish, not much is different. Although I'm really noticing that these tropical fruits and nuts are really staying around quite well. And I write here, some delicate spices carry on, so a bit of dryness, along with rich dried fruitiness of apricots and pineapple. A little bit of chocolate now too. More like a cocoa, a very fruity cocoa. Great. One last taste. Please go and get yourself a bottle of this. So as I mentioned, that's my 2016 age-stated luxury whiskey of the year. I think that's probably about a little bit more, maybe more like 180 in Canada, in Manitoba, 170, 180. USA, it's probably right around 100, I'm guessing. Is it worth it? Yes, definitely it's worth it. And the WhiskyWhistle whiskey score for this one is going to be 93 out of 100. That's the score, the WhiskyWhistle score for the Balvenie 14-year-old Caribbean cask. Gorgeous whiskey. I think that I will definitely get this one again. Excuse me. Probably not this year, but maybe next year or the year after I'll get another bottle of this before they change it to something else. You know, these distilleries don't keep the same expressions for decades and decades. It seems like there is maybe about a 10-year window of opportunity on a successful expression from the distillery. So maybe a little longer for some. Obviously, if you look at blended Scotch whiskies, then you're talking about something different. But 10 years, calling it the same name, using the same style of casks and so on. Anyway, so I should probably get another one of those before they decide to do something different. Anyway, great. So thanks for tuning in. Don't forget, if you're new to WhiskyWhistle, you can subscribe right here, right around there, I think. And here are a couple of interesting videos that I'd like you to have a look at, either now or next time, okay? All right, we'll see you next time for 143. That is going to be another NAS whiskey. Goodbye.